Oh, it's you! What a terrific surprise!
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, only this time, I'm standing. So yeah, change of location today because I did want to get my girl Caspian in the shot, and also because my last vlog was so painfully close to my face that you could count every individual imperfection in my complexion. Self-confidence? Unless that's a brand of non-alcoholic margarita, I'm not interested. Anyways, it's also Pride Month, so I hope you guys are enjoying the parades and the festivities, but most importantly, cherish your time with your fellow LGBTQ friends, because as we all know, at the end of the month, they do have to go into hibernation for the remaining 11 months of the year. The video you're watching right now was supposed to be my Pride Month special. I was kind of juggling between either telling my coming out story, but that's kind of lame and overdone, and the one that I was actually in the process of working on was a video where I just made fun of homophobic people by reading their posts in really stupid, annoying voices.
Did someone say Pride Month?
Because that's comedy. Anyways, long story short, this video was not supposed to happen. But then, I found something magical. My YouTube suggestions list gifted me with something so beautiful and so nostalgic that I almost had a stroke when I saw it. Then again, my diet also consists of Nutella and iced coffee, so it could have been that too. The something, or rather someone, that I am speaking of is a YouTube channel called Momo O'Brian. Now, before I just throw you into what Momo's channel is about, I kind of have to explain what Momo's channel is about. In this world of hatred and bigotry and people who beg for Venmo money on their birthday, there are three things that will always make me happy. Thing one, the medieval genre as a whole. I'm talking sword fighting, I'm talking World of Warcraft, and my personal favorite would be Renaissance festivals, where you go out into the middle of the forest with people that you hardly know, and they're all dressed up as orcs and knights and kings and queens, and you pay exorbitant amounts of money for turkey legs and fake armor and fake swords and just a lot of fake stuff. But that's the price of immersion, baby! Thing number two, costumes. And I'm not talking about specifically Halloween, I'm talking about being fit for costumes, wearing a costume for the first time, wearing your costume in front of a live audience, seeing other people in their costumes, and as bad as I am at art, I really, really love designing costumes. I come up with really fun ideas, but then when I try and draw them, they kind of turn out looking like a Pop Tropica figure. Thing number three. Thing number three is pretending to be people that are far more interesting than I will ever be. I think they call it theater? Never heard of it. Now, I want you to think of one thing, one teensy-weensy thing, one thing that encapsulates all three of these amazing concepts into one experience. I'll give you a few seconds to think about it, and go. It's LARP. It is literally in the title. LARP stands for Live Action Role Play. Essentially, it's just improvisation theater, but you take away the stage. Alternatively, you could think of it as Dungeons & Dragons, but instead of sitting around a table in your friend's basement, you are actually your character, and you're actually acting out the story, and as Momo says, instead of rolling to see if you can attack an orc, you just attack the orc. This brings us back to our girl, Momo. Now, if you don't know who Momo O'Brian is, first of all, you have not been living. This entire time that you think that you've been alive, you haven't been living. Not until this very moment when I just told you who Momo O'Brian is. Her channel's content is literally the base of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You cannot be fully realized until you have seen at least one of her videos. That is how healthy for the soul her content is. Second of all, I would describe her as a veteran LARPer. Or is it LARPist? No, that doesn't sound right. Long story short, she's got quite a few LARP experiences under her custom-made fantasy potion belt, and her channel is dedicated to, as she puts it, recording everyday adventures, which I think is a pretty great way to put it. She's one of those people who will always have a more interesting life than you, but instead of like flexing on you about how cool her life is, she really just wants to share how fun it is and encourage you to join in with her. Now, I watched Momo's channel all the way back in 2014, which was when I was starting to get into middle school theater and Momo was starting to get into LARP. And unfortunately in middle school, my directors chose the worst material for us to play. The worst. All I wanted to do was pretend to be a hobgoblin and sing magical songs and eat mushrooms, but no. I had to play the big bad wolf. We don't talk about that. We don't. As much as I watched her channel, I never got the chance to LARP. And the reason for that is because when you tell your whole 2 middle school friends,
"Hey, do you want to come LARP with me?"
there's an initial barrier. More so when you tell them that it would just be running around in the park dressed as a witch or a warlock or something. I guess middle school girls aren't into that nowadays. I'm so out of touch. So as the likelihood of me LARPing grew less and less, I gradually started watching her channel less and less. Mostly because it just made me really, really sad. She's always having such a fantastic time with her beautiful costumes and her really cool friends and these really cool locations that she goes to. And as much as I tried to start my own LARP adventure with the stuff that I had in my closet, I kind of felt like I was still missing out on the last piece of the puzzle, and that was actually having a group of people to LARP with. All of my friends would only play pretend on stage, because I guess that's more normal? Imagine that meme of Squidward looking out the window at SpongeBob and Patrick, but replace Squidward with me in middle school, and SpongeBob and Patrick replace them with Momo and her cool friends. That pretty much sums it up. Gradually, I stopped watching her channel, and I continued with the egregiously stupid process of
growing up.
So today, in honor of Pride Month, I am coming out as the L in LGBT. A LARP virgin. I think if I unlock like the B and the T, then Kesha performs at my house or something. I don't know. Through high school, I had a lot of experiences that were very close to LARP, but the reason that they really weren't is because, boiled down to their core, they were just murder mystery parties amped up to like 300%. They were super cool and really well thought out because, you know, I organized them. But they weren't LARP. And because I was the head organizer for those for 2 years, I really wasn't able to play a character that could be shaped by the environment. I was always so worried looking at a clipboard and trying to make sure that everything was going according to plan, because if something went wrong, then the whole event would be ruined. I've also never been able to develop a long-term character. In fact, the only time that I think I've gotten close to long-term character development would be when I roleplayed on Little Big Planet 2. I roleplayed on Little Big Planet 2 because I was that desperate. Actually, not even gonna lie, I had a really great time in that game. Me and my friends would come up with pretty crazy stories, but still nothing close to LARP. So if you've made it this far and you haven't unsubscribed, well, it's too late. You sold your soul to me. Also, you're probably thinking, what is he going on about? Why is this so important to him? And the answer to that question is, have you literally not been watching the video? Have you not been watching the— Essentially, I noticed that I'm actually starting to earn money for myself and gain some form of independence, and I was like, wait a second. I could start doing this if I wanted to. Furthermore, I am going to an amazing performing arts college.
More on that in a future video.
And tools to become a good LARPer are right at my fingertips. Classes like learning how to sew, learning how to design a costume, learning how to design a character. And I can just take classes for that along with my tuition. I'm saying this now, and I want you all to hold me to it. I will LARP before I graduate college. That's the deal. I will not depart from this godforsaken realm until I have whacked someone with a foam sword, or cast a fake incantation, or sang a song and dressed like a hobgoblin. It's really important to me that I get to experience this before I have to go off and do big boy things. Like do my taxes, gross. Okay, so moving past that, we are going to look at some video evidence of why LARP is so cool. All of which I have cultivated from Momo's channel because all of you are uncultured and I had to do it for you. We're going to start with a video that popped up in my suggestions list and started this whole deep dive into the world of LARP. And that is how to be a part of a fantasy story, Chronicles of the Realm. I mean, if that doesn't, you know, that doesn't tickle your fancy, I don't know what does, dude. One of my favorite clips of this video is literally the beginning where Momo just briefly explains what LARP is.
Hi YouTube! So I'm about to tell you about an event that I went to unlike anything I've ever played before. So Chronicles of the Realm is a LARP, a live-action roleplay event. And in ways it's a lot like the other LARPs that I have been to, like Armistice Arcane, College of Wizardry, and Skull and Crossbones. It is essentially a game of make-believe made for adults.
Bam! What was that, like 10 seconds? And I already know what we're getting into. She has such a way with words. I just love that LARP is so normal for these people, because there's no reason that it shouldn't be normal. If you put it on stage, it would be something like Macbeth, if Macbeth were improvised. It's got fantasy, it's got betrayal, it's got all sorts of plot twists, and there's not enough witches to foreshadow them, and it's just a big, beautiful mess. But what makes it so much cooler than just performing it for an hour or two and then invading a local Denny's with your theater troupe is that you're actually in that world, and you have the freedom to choose whatever you want to do. I think that a lot of us actors have occasionally had that devilish thought on stage of, what if I did this? That would totally ruin the performance. And while you don't want to ruin a LARP, you have the freedom to do that in a LARP, because there's no audience. This next clip is pretty cool because it showcases some of the features of this event that she's going to, and there's professional actors who are just there. That's pretty cool.
Then the rest of the game was so epic! Not only did I get to watch an awesome story unfold in front of me because of the actions of me and my friends, but I got to feel like I was part of it. And a way they did this really easily is every player character has some kind of tie to an actor character. See this handsome fellow? Veros, another spirit-born? He's my cousin! And before the game, never met this dude before. But the first thing that happens to me is I'm sitting down and this dude comes up to me, puts his hand on my knee, looks me in the eye and says, "You're like me."
If Veros puts his hand on my knee, he better be proposing. But stuff like what she's talking about makes the event so cool. The intimacy and the intensity and the dedication to the story, and people who are just so into it that they can stare into the person's eyes and just have this really deep moment, and they cherish it forever. And when they look back on it, it's not like, haha, that was such a silly thing that we did. Oh, you know, we pretended to be forest people. It's just something that's meaningful, and it's completely spontaneous. And to me, that's true art. And as much as I love improv comedy troupes, sometimes that magic is very hard to find. Moving on, we have a few clips of some of their combat play, which I think is just great. They have these big foam weapons and foam arrows that they just whack each other with. It's great, it's great. Yeah, that's me in a combat situation. Stay back, heathen, yeah. And my girl can sing. That's it. That's it. That's it. I'm convinced that she is no longer playing a role. She is literally just someone from the woodland realm who turned up in our world and is just mistaking people who LARP for her own brethren. That's it. Case closed. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and also kill the homophobes. Bye. So this video goes on for like 21 minutes, and while I cherish every second of it, you have to see the pirate LARP. You cannot tell me that that is not the coolest experience you could ever have. Don't lie to me, don't lie. I know that you just want to dress up in a leather corset, get aboard a pirate ship, sail away and sing shanties while the moonlight cascades through your hair, because that is pretty cool. This entire experience of being on a pirate ship and just being out in the ocean would probably be like a very real spiritual awakening. I would like step aboard the ship and then my third eye would just appear.
Hey, wait, Erica, where did you get that?
Pencil rental! Costume rental!
So you don't have to take a fake gun over the border.
Welcome to Skull and Crossbones!
Oh my god. That woman right there, that's me. That's me in a LARP situation, baby.
Actually, oh my god. Everybody needs to leave the room for a second. You want to touch every centimeter of this ship, don't you?
See, look, she's so happy. Like, she's so touched by this whole experience. Like, this is her childhood dream, and she's living it out. Some people just have childhood dreams, and they're like,
Oh, it'll never happen, whatever.
she's living it. She's living her dream, and she looks so unbelievably happy. I want to be that happy.
And there was Brown, he was upside down, lapping up the whiskey off the floor. Booze, booze, the firemen cried as they came knocking at the door.
See, this experience, even without the LARP, would still be so cool. Just getting aboard a pirate ship and yeeting off into the sunset. But then they add in the extra layer of pretending to be real pirates? Gimme.
Don't let them in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted McIntyre. We all got blue blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. So imagine joining a pirate fleet and then finding out you are cursed to never walk on land again.
Well, that's not gonna work. I have to go to college in the fall.
More on that in a future video.
The last video we're going to look at today is Momo's experience with a school of witchcraft and wizardry LARP that definitely isn't Harry Potter, but is also Harry Potter, but also definitely is not Harry Potter.
Hi YouTube! So today I'm going to show you how you can actually take lessons on how to brew potions and cast spells here!
Sign me up, baby! So there's a lot of explanation in this first part of the video, so I'm going to skip to some of the parts that I think really make this genre of LARP shine.
You just make stuff up. It does not matter what you say. What matters is letting the other person know, like, what kind of spell you're casting.
Flavio, you want to kind of describe what you want to happen.
Erectore dysfuncto!
Erectore dysfuncto? He said erectore dysfuncto? What? I love this clip because, as ridiculous as it is, it encapsulates the essential yes and rule of improvisation acting. Now, if you've never taken an improv course or you've never been in improvisation acting, basically when someone feeds you an idea, the best way to keep the idea rolling is to say yes and add on to it and make it something else and elevate it. And this is so essential for LARP, or at least that's what I'm getting, because if you feed someone an idea and they go, you can't do that. You can't do that. Sorry. Scene's over, baby. Then what's the point of LARPing with anyone else but yourself? It really is a team effort.
So classes were so fun, full of shenanigans, like setting demons loose.
Do you have anything with healing?
The top one is probably you going back to hell so I don't flunk this class.
No. You gotta go to hell, missiness.
I was on my way to hell.
Oh, shoot.
Thanks.
Oh my god. I am her. That's me. That's me. Okay, but the idea that they literally send you to classes is so cool. The amount of organization that requires is beyond me. I'll probably stop showing Momo's clips here. I know that a lot of them didn't show the actual LARP itself, but I think most of her videos are like that. She explains what the experience was like without showing the experience itself. And I think that's just a testament to the fact that she wants to be in the moment and not with a camera going, smile for YouTube! I hope that gives you kind of a mild insight as to why I'm so obsessed with the concept of LARP. I think it's an amazing and fascinating hobby that ties together ingenuity and teamwork and just dedication to a plot. And it really shows that if you have the right artists with the right, you know, 150,000 IQ, you can create something that is real and other people can enjoy and have really genuine experiences from. And on top of all that, you literally are fulfilling your childhood dreams of pretending to be a pirate, of pretending to be a witch, of pretending to be, I don't know, a knight or something. Because obviously you're not going to be able to be those things for real, you silly, but what's the point of not trying? If you're in a community of people who are like, yeah, you are a witch, you are a pirate, you are a knight, then you're fulfilling that dream. I think I'm probably going to tie the video up here today. I know that this wasn't a very long video. It didn't show a lot of the LARP itself, but if you want to see all of that, I'm going to leave Momo's channel in the description. You can check all of her stuff out. I think she is an amazing YouTuber who is just really creative and shows all of the different sides of her dynamic creativity and ingenuity. And I think YouTube needs a lot more of that. I think if I'm going to make another video about this, I'll probably make one about me creating an actual character and see where it goes. I might do some thrift shopping and get some costume pieces. I might react to some more LARP content. I don't know. I just kind of think it's a really cool concept. Anyways, guys, I hope that you found some grain of enjoyment in my incredibly unnecessarily deep rant about why I love live action roleplay. If you did enjoy the video, I try and make videos sometimes. So why not hit the subscribe button, huh? Momo, my queen, if you are somehow watching this video, you have been a huge inspiration to me. You got me through a lot of my lonely times, and now I'm finally ready to say that I kind of want to do what you guys are doing. And thank you so much for just being yourself, because I need some of that inspiration. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode of... My YouTube channel doesn't have a consistent theme. Bye-bye!